Don't mind me, I'm taking a break from remodeling this room. It's a lot. But I used to wonder this too, like why did that situationship hurt a lot more than the divorce and walking away? And I explained to myself that in my marriage, it took a long time for me to decide. I was in pain, and that pain was like distributed. And by the time that I made the decision to separate and leave, walk away from this, is because I felt like I tried everything in my power or everything that I was capable of to make it work. And it came down to like I couldn't do it anymore. And with the situationship, it's unfulfilled because it never goes beyond like just a situationship. It never is a true relationship. Nothing like that. You can't really try at all. And so I think to me that was the most, it was like there was so much potential that I thought I saw, but in reality when I look back, like this was not it.
What's going on, gentlemen? So we have this woman right here, and apparently a situationship hurt her more than losing her ex-husband, who she supposedly devoted to for her whole life. Now let's hear the story again, and let's analyze it together, gentlemen.
Don't mind me, I'm taking a break from remodeling this room. It's a lot. But I used to wonder this too, like why did that situationship hurt a lot more than the divorce and walking away? And I explained to myself that in my marriage, it took a long time for me to decide. I was in pain, and that pain was like distributed. And by the time that I made the decision to separate and leave, walk away from this, is because I felt like I tried everything in my power or everything that I was capable of to.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did, right? And that woman in the comment that says the situationship hurt absolutely worse than the 20-year marriage. It broke me down completely. Yeah, I'm sure that woman also tried her best. You know, you see, apparently, guys, all women who divorce, which are 80% of the, people who initiate divorces, they have all tried their best. They have tried, through sweat and blood, just giving it their all. They just weren't able to succeed. Poor benevolent creatures of God. They, how can you blame them? All women, also the women who leave a marriage and 1 week later they're already in another relationship. Yeah, they've also tried everything. And you see, sarcasm aside, once you get married, there is no trying. You succeed and that's it, or you keep trying. There's no divorce is meant for widows, which you can be married to a person who's already gone, and cheating. That's it. That's traditionally what divorce is. And this whole thing of, well, if it doesn't go well, let's get divorced. Who cares? I mean, I'm a woman. I can find another man in like 2 seconds. So who cares? If the glitter wore off, if the spark is gone, if it's too hard, irreconcilable differences, etc., you can bet your arse that if the guy actually did something bad, like something real bad, like hitting her every day, or just, some horrible things I cannot mention on YouTube, if he did that, you can bet your arse she will be just, saying it right here. He cheated on me, or he beat me, or he didn't respect our children, or something along those lines, because they always do, right? But notice how it's the same thing they say always. Oh, he was abusive. I wasn't being valued, my time wasn't appreciated, and I was doing all of the mental labor and all that crap that doesn't mean anything and is not a reason to get divorced. But let's continue, gentlemen, and let's see what she can make of this mess.
Make it work. And it came down to like I couldn't do it anymore. And with the situationship, it's unfulfilled because it never goes beyond like just a situationship. It never is a true relationship. nothing like that. You can't really try at all. And so I think to me that was the most, it was like, there was so much potential that I thought I saw, but in reality, when I look back, like, this was not it. That person was not it.
No, you don't say. I really thought that that situationship that you monkey branch to was going to be your future husband. The one for real, you know, the one who you will actually try to, you know, keep your oaths. Never mind, guys. Modern women, you know, if I was a betting man, I will bet that you pick a random woman and she's not going to commit and know how to keep a marriage. Because that's usually what modern women have become. They always think that the grass is greener somewhere else. And that's why the situationship hurt her more. Because, you know, quote unquote, she's looking for potential. She's not actually looking for potential, you know. If modern women were looking for potential, they will date the guy who is right now not attractive, not really rich, you know, but they will see the potential, you know, and they will marry him. But it's not how it works. The modern women wait at the end line, at the finish line, right? They just wait for men who are already successful, already, you know, have been going to the gym for 2 years, and then they go for him. So it's not about the potential, right? I've seen so many women throughout my life who leave relationships thinking that they will be better off with the next guy. And guess what? They never are. They leave the relationship with the words, you don't appreciate me, I will find someone who does, etc. And they go on to the next relationship, let's call it. And, you know, surprise, surprise, problems still exist. It's never going to be perfect, man. Modern women, they don't put barely any effort. You hear this one here saying, oh, I did my best, I did absolutely everything. If you did absolutely everything, you wouldn't be divorced right now, right? It's a lie, guys. They just don't want to try. They try for a month, 2 months, you know, when it gets hard. Oh, I guess, you know, irreconcilable differences, right? When the marriage doesn't turn out to be the honeymoon, but extended for the rest of her life, suddenly we have a problem, guys. You know, suddenly, oh, this is not what I expected, because these people are delusional. They grow and they are fed their whole life the idea that they are so worth it, that they deserve everything. And they always deserve more. If they have everything, they will want more. So you can never please these people. They will always find a crack in your perfect life. You know, they will always find something to blame you, and they will always look for that escape route. They will always look to get divorced, find another man who is better, and continue hopping and jumping, you know, from one man to another, trying to secure the best one. And whoever is crazy enough to commit to these women, he will immediately drop, you know, in her scale of men who are valuable. The moment you commit, is the moment that you've dropped in her scale. Because you see, they like the, as she says, potential, but it's not potential. They just like to fantasize about how much more they can get.
So that has to do with it. And then we're coming out of a marriage, especially like 10 years for me, 20 years for you, where we did not have someone in our marriage who loved us, who cared about us, starting to get to know you. Like, we were different people by that point. We had grown up. And
so I don't see, gentlemen, if you read the captions here, but just now she said, I remember my ex accusing me of changing, and I'd say I hadn't, because he made it sound so bad. So we hear a little from the man's perspective here, saying she's changed. Now that's something that as a man you've probably heard many times other men complain about. The other guy was probably not so bad, you know. It's starting to look as if you had your problems, you know, of your own. But of course, we don't speak about that.
And someone was getting to know us, asking us about our life, and that adds to it. Yeah. And so when someone starts to show you a
Sorry to pause it so much, but do you read the captions, man? In the end, I feel like he couldn't stand my happiness because I was hurting, but I loved life. He was always hating life. This guy, man, so bad. I wish they took him to jail. He's the devil, and she's the, you know, an angel. It's like light and darkness, black and white. The other guy just so bad, you know, absolute terror. He's the perfect one right here. if you ask the man what was the story, he's probably gonna tell you something along the lines of, uh, I was too busy at work and I couldn't spend much time with her, so she cheated or something like this. You know, like you hear his side of the story and you're like, man, what the hell? She's absolutely insane for speaking like this.
Show you a little bit of love. There's this brain chemistry working. It's like we're getting addicted to it, and like the messages, the calls, and then it slowly stops, and you want more. And you're wondering what it is, and so it's like that withdrawal, and then you're giving that love again, and then taking it away. It's just a crazy cycle of this brain chemistry that comes out of that, but really it's that we came out of that relationship thinking that we were ready. We wanted to have someone. And the moment we try and it fails, it hurts so bad, because for me, it was like, am I really not worth it? Because my husband made me feel like I wasn't worth it, and this person's making me feel like I'm worth it. Maybe I'm not. And that was a hard struggle. Even my third attempt relationship was a situationship. It was crazy, so I gave up. Look at me now, though.
Guys, went on the line of living my best life in an unfinished apartment. Nobody wants her, not her ex-husband, not her situationship. Just, you know, living my best life, guys. And you know what? I think I'm gonna leave my condo. I'm gonna go to an unfinished apartment because I also want to live my best life. You know, what do you know? So much coping, guys. The thing is, now I don't know the story, neither do you, because of course this woman doesn't tell anything. Again, you can bet that if the man actually did something bad, she will be shouting it into the camera. So we don't really know what happened, but I'm guessing it's something along the lines of, guy's too busy at work and she's crying, you know, whining all the time that she wants more attention and more and more, and you know, she's never happy, you know. And in the end, you know, she was bitching about it, right? She was bitching about it. The guy comes from work tired, you know, he wants to rest, and she starts yelling at him right at the door because she wants attention, you know. In the end, I can say both people are, you know, responsible for this, and both people are to blame. Yeah, I'm saying the man is also to blame because, you know, it's about understanding the other person. You come from work, you're really tired, but still, it's like having kids. You can't come home and, you know, your kids want attention and you say, screw off, I'm tired, and you go sleep, right? So when you have a wife, when you have kids, you know, you are responsible for them. You have to show attention. You have to show affection. But it's also true that women need to understand how men feel as well. So if he's tired from work, don't expect to receive 4 hours of attention. Like guys, I've seen so many women who want that, you know, the man of their dreams is a man who makes 6-digit salaries, but at the same time has like 12 hours a day to be with them. It's like insanity, you know. So yeah, marriages are complex. They need understanding. They need compromise. The guy needs to compromise that he cannot go and mind his own business. He has a wife. He has to, you know, show attention to her. But the wife also has to make the compromise that she cannot receive everything that she wants. And the reason why I blame women more than men is because, you know, looking at society, the percentage of men who, you know, don't understand women as much, yeah, it's high. But the percentage of women who have standards through the roof and, you know, impossible to be met, never to be satisfied, is even bigger. So that is why I put more blame on women. I don't trust this one. I think she was the one who wanted to get divorced. The men didn't want to, as is in most of the cases, because, you know, men, at least they try. Yeah, they have their own, you know, things to fix, but at least they try. You know, the percentage of men that actually get divorced, not because their wife cheated, is really low. Like probably 5% of the divorces are initiated by men. So you see, like, this woman, man, I hope nobody dates her anymore. It's a bullet to be dodged. These women, gentlemen, can be never satisfied. And here's why, again, I blame the woman more, because even if her ex-husband paid more attention to her and loved her more and whatever, she still wouldn't be satisfied. But now let's finally continue to our next TikTok.
now though.
I live in the reality that two things can be true at once, and those two things may be opposite of each other. Por ejemplo, I am happy with the decision I made to leave my ex-husband. On the flip side, I am also annoyed that I had to be forced to make that decision because he didn't want to do the work to fix it. Because the after effects of him deciding he didn't want to work on this affect me and my daughter, not so much him.
He didn't want to work on this. That sounds like she cheated, and then she told him, "Hey, wanna go to couples therapy? You know, marriage counseling to fix this?" And the guy was like, "Hell no! You know, get out of my side. You're not cheating and getting away with it." But that's just my my thoughts, gentlemen. Leave a comment of what do you think is the problem, and maybe we'll find out. See.
Prime example is dating. I'm just leave it there. You fill in the gaps. Having to date at 33 when I've only ever been with one person in my adult life. Ghetto. The other part, trying to mother a child who, when we did separate, was just getting accustomed to seeing her parents living together on the same roof. And now they don't. And so I'm trying to parent through that, and it's not working because she behaves to her dad, doesn't behave for me. I have to lay down the law, put some order in place, because otherwise I have to deal with sassy britches, and I can't deal with it. It's like, if you had just decided to work on it, work through it, we could be doing this together. But instead, I'm doing it my way, you're doing it your way, and it's not cohesive. Okay? Again, dating. It's trash. At this point, God, you gonna deliver him to my house in an Amazon box. That's how it's gonna be. And I'm trying to let that thought go of like, if he had just chosen to work through it, I wouldn't be going through this. I can't live there. But I'm acknowledging that these are the feelings that I'm having. And the only way you get through the hard things is acknowledging it so that you can feel it and move on. So this is me acknowledging that I by no means ever want to be with that man ever again in life. Like, I'd rather give birth without an epidural than be with him again. But my life would be a little less complicated if we had just worked through our marriage.
Yeah, that annoying moment, guys, when you get divorced, but at the same time you lose all the privileges of being provided for, you know. It was really annoying. I wish this woman could be at the same time receiving all the benefits, you know, just someone providing for her, giving her attention, validation, taking care, fixing leaks around the house, fixing so many things. But at the same time, you know, she for her to have the conscious decision, the ability to make that decision to get divorced, just really unpleasant for this woman. But guys, notice how she never mentions what actually he didn't try to solve. And men usually, they want to solve things, they want to fix things. Like, when men are, dealt the cards that we're gonna get divorced, most men try. The vast majority of men, they don't want to get divorced. They've spent time on this relationship. They've spent, so much mental energy. There is a reason why they decided to marry you. They want to have kids, they want to have the life that their grandfathers had. So most men, they're not really wanting to get divorced. I mean, let alone the fact that most men, after getting divorced, it's not as easy for them to get another marriage. Meanwhile, for women, it's easier. So you see, it's like, why did you get divorced? Because he didn't accept that you cheated, or what's the deal? again, guys, we can never know, because of course, if these women spoke out all the truth, they will be the one to blame, and we can't have that. So we'll end it right here, gentlemen. Leave me your thoughts about this confusing video where, women don't like to say what happened and we have to be guessing. Tell me what are your thoughts, your guesses, and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.